Nature Hills Nursery touts that they are the largest online nursery. Now, bigger isn't always better. And if you're going to buy from a nursery that's online, it is buyer beware. And I knew that when I bought this clementine. I bought the clementine orange. I'd always wanted one. And they had a decent price. It was like $80 some. And I figured for $80 some it would, I'd get expedited shipping. That's not what they do. That's not what they do. The tree to get here, it was like a week, 8 days for the tree to get here. Now, putting a tree in a box and making sure that it doesn't have light for 8 days is going to stress out any tree. Any nursery that ships plants, they should be trying to get you the plant as soon as possible. That's not what Nature Hills does. They don't care. That is how they ship the plants. You don't really have a choice. That's how it's coming. It's going to take at least a week. And when I called them to say that there was a problem with the plant, by the way, the plant is doing much better, and it has nothing to do with Nature Hills. It has to do with me using a Bonade antifungal product, which is systemic, which is infused. Now, I called them recently, about 2.5 weeks ago, and I said, the tree looks terrible. And you shipped it in a box. It didn't have light for a long time. And the guy says, well, let me see. Well, it got there before 2 weeks. That's what he said, before 2 weeks. So that's in the time frame of it being okay. 2 weeks, a plant without light for 2 weeks. Stresses out a plant. It shows up. It looks pretty good, right? Its leaves are green, but I'm like, man, that's a long time. So I kick gloves with it. I'm giving it some light, but I'm not giving it too much light. I'm not overwatering it. I'm not underwatering it. Within a month, it looks terrible. Leaves are dropping. Leaves are yellowing and curling. I have pictures of it. Leaves are curling. They're yellow. Half the leaves have dropped off the plant at this point. So it clearly has some issues. I changed its environment, and I went to 24/7 light and put a fan on it, and it still was doing poorly. I contacted Nature Hills, and they said, okay, well, you have a warranty with that plant. They wanted me to take pictures of it. They said this: as soon as the plant arrived, we'd like to see the pictures of it when you had your concern. I didn't have any concern because the plant was okay. It just came out of the box. So I didn't take pictures of it, and it looked okay. So that's when it starts. I can tell they're not going to be helpful. And they weren't. They were not even slightly helpful. I guarantee you, the chances of getting a refund on this plant or some kind of compensation, you're going to have to jump through hoops. They said that they wanted me to take pictures. They wanted pictures of when the plant arrived after, 7 days, and I had concerns, which I didn't take pictures because it was green, and I was hoping for the best. And then I said, well, I gotta go down and take pictures right now. All the leaves that have fallen off the tree. It looks terrible, and show you that it has some kind of fungal problem. And they said, okay, do that, and then send those in, and then we're gonna need to know what your watering schedule was. This is what they're telling me: watering schedule, how much exactly you watered the plant. They're just not gonna, give out like a refund or any type of compensation. Why? Because they're the biggest. They don't care. It's about volume. And you know what? It's like you buy anything from Best Buy or any place like that that's big. They're hoping that if they cause you enough trouble, you're not going to want to deal with the refund. And that's exactly the approach that they were taking. They had a whole list of demands that they wanted from me. It was ridiculous. That's when I was like, well, screw this. I've had plants for years, and I was like, this is screwed up. They sent me a plant, put it in a box for over a week, and then, stress out the plant, and the plant has a fungal infection. By the way, I did not repot the plant, so I didn't give it the fungal infection. It came with the fungal infection, and as soon as they stressed out the plant, it's rearing its ugly head. That's the original pot that it came in. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything, and I watered it when it needed water, and I didn't overwater it or underwater it. The one thing that saved this plant, this is more of a review, a positive review for this Bonate product, which is infused. And I've used this on peaches, plums, many different trees that have fungal problems, and it's highly effective. Now, it is a systemic product that goes through the whole entire plant and goes in through the leaf and goes into the whole plant, but it's highly effective. You can't use it on a plant. Like it might cause the plant not to produce fruit the first year or something, but this is a small tree. It's not going to produce fruit anyway. Not a problem. It's not a problem. I knew I'd do something, so I used this. And if you can see, about 6 days later, I finally started having growth on the plant. You can see that? See the new growth on the plant? Yeah, let's see. See that? We're getting leaves on the plant. The plant will be fine. Now we'll use this product, the Bonate product, every 21 days for 3 times. 3 times. I think that I'll have to read it again. I think the recommendation is 3 times, 21 days apart, and don't do it any more than that during a year. So I keep an eye on it. It's doing fine. But the point of it is that, like, if you're going to buy from Nature Hills, beware that you're dealing with an online nursery that really doesn't care about the quality of the plants that they're sending or what condition they're going to be in when they get there. You're going to open up the box and the plant might look green, but without sunlight for that many days, it's going to stress them out. You know, they just don't give a rat's ass, is what I'm saying. Buyer beware. I knew when I was buying from Nature Hills, the largest online nursery, there could be a problem. You're not going to get any type of satisfaction by calling customer service. They're just going to want you to jump through hoops. I seriously, most of the time, I assume that they're not going to pay out for the warranty on the plant. And that's the same as many different nurseries. I bought pawpaws when I first started growing pawpaws, and it really is one of those things that make sure that you're buying from a reputable source. With pawpaws, I buy from Edible Landscaping, but they don't have, this type of citrus tree, so I didn't buy from them. If One Green World on the West Coast would have had it, I would have bought that from them too. They're sort of reputable, not as reputable as Edible Landscaping. One Green World is a larger organization, and their shipping and how they fill out a pot, like you might be buying a plant that's in a pot of a certain size, but the roots aren't filled out in the pot. It's buyer beware. You're not seeing the plant, you're just assuming that you're going to be buying a plant that's in good shape and it's going to be shipped to you appropriately. Nature Hills Nursery is not, it's buyer beware. I had a bad experience with them. I'll probably never buy anything from them again. I bought stuff from them in the past. I've had issues with them in the past. This was sort of like, the icing on the cake. This is a good product by Bonate. Don't get it on your skin. Don't breathe it in. But if your plant has a fungal infection, this product seems to work really good on peaches, citrus, all kinds of plants. Consider using a systemic product. By the time that this thing fruits, this won't even be in the tree, but you have to kill that fungus that's in the tree, or else, all the leaves drop off, right? All the leaves drop off on an evergreen. This is an evergreen tree. It should always have leaves on it. It's not going to live. It's going to die. Then you might have to try some other product where it's absorbed through the bark. But this is a highly effective product, and when I got down to just these leaves, I was like, well, I'm going to try the Bonnet product and see what happens. It worked. Don't waste your money with Nature Hills unless you're willing to, throw your money out the window if it doesn't work, or you have something like I did, a product like this, and are willing to, nurse the plant back to health. Buyer beware. If they're saying that it's going to get there in a week, if anybody says, if any nursery says that 2 weeks, that's what they said. They said, well, it got there before 2 weeks. That's their yardstick of like an appropriate shipping time for a plant. I'll never buy from them again. Never. If you're looking for pawpaw trees, by the way, try Edible Landscaping. They're online, and I've never had any problem with them. They have great customer service. Citrus trees, I don't know what to tell you, because this is the first citrus tree I've ever bought. Nature Hills Nursery, no good.